Hey guys, welcome back to the e-commerce with Golang backend project series. In this video, we will work on some token creation logic. So this token gen.go, this is not a folder. Has to be a file. So I'll rename it. It's basically tokens folder, and inside that will be your token gen.go file. So we'll have our logic to create our tokens, like the regular token and the refresh token. And to be able to do that, we need our claims. We need claims to create the token, right? Using the JWT package, obviously. And we need refresh claims to create the refresh token using the JWT token package, of course. Then we need some logic to validate the token. So whenever somebody tries to use the token to interact with the APIs, we need to make sure if the token is valid or not, right? And to check for validity, there are a couple of things. For example, if the token has expired, like the expires at time is lesser than the time that is right now, that means not valid, right? So multiple such things we have to do to check the validity. So all of those functions and all of that logic will be here. Now this obviously belongs to package token because that's how you want to import this. So you want to be able to import this as a package tokens. And then you'll have your import statement. And I'll need a couple of things here. Let's wait for them. I don't want to confuse you by telling you what all I need, but JWT, obviously I need JWT, right? And we'll talk about it in a minute. But before that, I need a struct called sign details. Why do I need it? Because the claims that I'll be using. So claims are basically values that you use to create your own JWT token, right? And some people want to have emails and first name and last name and unique ID of the user to be a part of that token. And that's where you use these sign details. So firstly, I want to create my own sign details struct. What all should it have? I think it can have email. Now see this auto whatever extension that I'm using, it writes all these snippets and code for me. This is not correct because I'll never be using it with JSON or from a database or from Postman or anything like that. So I don't need the JSON counterpart of that. I just need to tell Golang that this email is a string, and this first underscore name, I'll take first underscore name, keep that also as string, last name string, right? So you can have as many fields out here as you want. I'm just picking these up because of just personal preference. But the one thing that you for sure that you need is JWT.standard claims. UID is also a string. Now when I say JWT.standard claims, I also need to obviously have the JWT package. So out here I'll say JWT and github.com/DGRIJALVA/ You don't have to write this with me, you can just copy and paste it from GitHub, okay? Or if you are not able to find it on GitHub, it's basically DGRIJALVA JWT.go/go, sorry. Okay, so now we have everything in line. The functions that will be out here, one will be the token generator function that we talked about. This creates your token and your refresh token. Then you have your validate token function. So we'll say validate token. And you'll also have your update tokens. So these are the three functions that you'll have. Now let's start working with the token generator function. Okay, so it's going to take email. Basically, this function will require all of these values. Then only you'll be able to send it to the JWT package, right? So it'll need email, it'll need first name, it'll need last name, it'll need UID, And what does it return? Now that's the important question. So it returns a couple of things, or three things actually. One is your signed token, obviously, which is of type string. I will make this t smaller. So signed token is string, and then you'll need your signed refresh token, which is again a string, and it might return an error if there's an error out here. So these are the three things that it will return. Okay. Now you need to create the claims like I told you. So the claims are going to be of these signed details basically. So you'll say signed details, and in signed details you have these values, but these values are being passed as arguments to this function. So you'll say that this email, so you'll copy and paste this email, is actually equal to this email out here, this one. So you'll copy and paste that as well, put a comma. Similarly, you can say first name, feel free to copy and paste. I don't copy and paste a lot because you make a mistake in one place, you make it everywhere else. So I don't really recommend, but if you want to save time, copy and paste. So out here you'll have standard claims, which is glt.standard claims, and we'll have expires at, you'll use the time package time.now.local.add, we'll say. So what you're saying here is you're creating a value called expires at. Now standard claims can have two values. Usually it usually has two values, right? Expires at is compulsory, and then you can also have like an issuer value out here. So expires at, we're just giving expires at here, but you can also have an issuer. So issuer could be yourself, your company, or whoever's basically responsible for issuing this JWT token. So you can have that if you want. And what you're essentially doing is you're just taking the time that is right now, and you're just adding some time to it. So you're saying add time dot duration 24. So you're adding 24 hours to it. So the token is valid for 24 hours. Put a comma here. This is your claims. Now you want to create your refresh claims. And they're obviously also of type signed details. But here you just have your standard claims, which is JWT.standard claims, and you have your expires at out here. So it's it was able to autocomplete for me and get this entire thing for me. Yeah, so out here also you'll say I'll add a little more time actually, or I'll say time dot duration, instead of 24 I'll add 168, and then I'll say dot Unix, put a comma here. Awesome. Now you have your claims and your refresh claims in order. What do you want to do now? You want to create the token. So how do you create the token? You create the token using the JWT.newWithClaims function. What's going to come out of this is your token. Okay? It's actually, people really confused with authentication logic. It's not a lot, right? It's just creating claims and just calling this function newWithClaims from the JWT package. You'll get your token. You don't have to do much. Everything else that we do is just the cherry on top, right? The essential thing is just creating this token. That is it. You don't have to work with refresh token, refresh claims, blah blah blah. All of that is cherry on the cake. Okay. So I'm just letting you know, in case you want to really build something in a very short period of time. You just need to know what's really critical and what are things that are extra. So signing method 256, and here to this function you also are supposed to pass the claims. That's why we created the claims in the first place. Okay, and we'll say that this is the signing method that we wanted to use, and we'll also have a string which we are saying is of type byte, and we're passing secret key to it. Okay, now about the secret key. So secret key out here, you come out here and we can define a variable for it. So it's a var secret key is equal to os dot get environment secret key. So in our environment, obviously we need to have something called a secret key. Okay. Again, secret key is not compulsory, but it just makes the token way more secure, because you know, with these things, these are still things that you can predict or get the values out when you you know, decode the GWT token. But your secret key is something that only you'll have. So it will increase, like put some noise, introduce some noise into the token, which nobody will be able to guess easily, like where is that noise coming from, as in what are those values, extra values. They'll be basically your secret key. Okay. Then to be able to work with some user data, I'll also introduce this variable mongo.collection is equal to database dot user data database dot client users. Okay, coming back here, created my token here, and obviously there will be a provision for error, and I'd like to handle my error out here itself. So I'll say if error is not equal to nil, I'll return empty for the token, empty string for the token. I'll return an empty string for the refresh token, and I'll return error. Okay, so always when you're returning anything from a function, please check what you're supposed to be returning. So out here, returning signed token, signed refresh token. So for both, I'm returning empty strings, and for the error, I'm returning the error because there's an error, obviously. Okay. Now for the refresh token. So refresh token comma error is equal to, again, how do you create the refresh token? There's nothing different out here. It's the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. Okay, and here instead of claims, you'll just pass refresh claims. All right, and again here also you should have ideally your secret key. So just copy and paste it out here. Simple. And again, you want to handle the error. So you'll copy this line out here. And if there's an error, you just want log.panic. Print out the error and just return. And if everything goes well, everything goes according to plan, you want to return token, you want to return the refresh token, both of which you have created using the new with claims functions, and you want to return the error. Okay. Perfect. So in the next function, let's tackle our, hey, if I have created secret key here, why is this giving me a squiggly line out here? Secret key, secret key. Anyhow, let's take care of that in the next, oh, sorry. Yeah. Is equal to. All right. And OS has to be a package that you'll import out here. Okay. So in the next video, we'll tackle the validate token function, and if time allows us, then we'll also tackle the update all tokens function. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series. There are not many videos left. I think about 5-6 videos are left in the series, and then we're done. So I hope you're learning a lot, and please practice this. And I also hate using these extensions, but somehow whenever I don't use them, everybody on my comments says that you should use these extensions, because I hate them because they keep introducing these wrong packages. I don't know why. I don't need them, man. Anyhow, so I'll see you in the next video. See you.